Well, my friend Pete, you know, I don't know, like we want to talk about timely stuff on this podcast, right? And we just came through one of the most amazing weeks, just in the nation's history, I would say.
It's a memorable one. It's a fun thing to navigate with children too. You know, let me tell you.
Yeah, I feel for you. You know, I don't have children, but this is, I gotta tell you, this, you know, 2020 now coming into 2021, dude, I never thought that I would be living through a time period like this. I must say.
Right, and the irony is, it seems like the beast has been stoked by the social media that we're trying to make our living on currently.
I'll say this. You know, I'm a news junkie and I follow politics quite closely. I'm not super close, but probably closer than maybe the average person, I'd say. I don't know, but so here's what concerns me. We're not gonna get too like into things here, because we are a fishing podcast. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about this. I kind of feel like we should talk about whatever we want to talk about, honestly. And so maybe we will. I'm just kind of feeling things out right now. Is kind of where I'm going with this. But I am of the opinion, I have friends on each end of the political spectrum, okay? I have a lot of friends that are Trump supporters, and I love them, okay? I would, many of them I would risk my life for, you know, and they would do the same for me.
Right.
And where I think, and I'm going to be honest with you, and I think I'm a conspiracy theorist, okay? And that word has been it's been used to really, I guess, I'm not fully functioning right yet, Pete, and this is a really kind of delicate subject that we're sort of tackling here a bit. So
I've never witnessed you fully functioning, so I would just keep trucking along.
Okay, so the important part is I'm trying here. But I think as a conspiracy theorist, there are forces, okay, that are, and when I say forces, we're talking about the most powerful interest in the world here that have more control than I think people really realize. And I'm very suspicious of everything that's happening this year. And the last year, okay? There's politics, very powerful people in D.C. and just the power structures, without getting too deep here, they want to divide people. I really feel this way, okay? And what concerns me right now is that this power structure, that's probably the best way to explain it right now without getting fully down the rabbit hole. But they want to divide people. I'm concerned that they're trying to divide neighbor upon neighbor right now. It certainly feels like I'd never thought this country, there was a possibility for a civil war. I always thought that was ridiculous, but it certainly feels very odd right now. It feels like there's pitting neighbor against neighbor, and that, I'm telling you right now, is a bunch of bullshit. Don't fall into it. Love your neighbor.
Yeah, divisiveness is really the enemy here. You know, like, if there's one thing that's true about all of this, it's like, and everyone's kind of keeps saying this, like, it's split right down the middle, and everybody is so hardcore to one side or the other. And I honestly don't see a smooth way out of this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how you get from point A to point B and try and bring everybody together, but it is really disastrous to see. That's part of the reason I have trouble like jumping on Facebook and kind of checking in to see what's going on. Besides like the bad information, and everybody has their own information, which is so exhausting. You know, look what I'm going to send you this link. You send me this link, and you know what I mean? It turns into this endless debate that's going nowhere. And then it always finishes with people just swearing at each other and giving each other a finger, but they're not really doing that. They're typing into a computer from a remote location, and they have that sort of bravado that you get on social media. And it seems to be accelerating the pace of, it's bringing down people's intelligence and it's lessening their ability to sort of relate to other people and then understand somebody else's viewpoint in a real way, Like the days of just having a beer and talking it out seem to be over. Now, if you're having a beer and you bring up this kind of thing, you're probably going to end up in the parking lot, throwing punches, which is a terrible sort of trajectory that we're going on here, I mean, and the bottom line is we still got it better than most places in the world. Obviously, no government is perfect, especially when it gets this big. But if you look around the world, I mean, it's not all peachy everywhere. Everyone's got their own, everyone's got ups and downs and positives and negatives. But I'm with you on that one. Like turning divisiveness seems to be like the poison that's in the water right now.
Yeah, and I really feel like there's an ulterior motive going on there. There's and again, we don't need to go into it right now.
It sounds like you're fishing for something.
I'm really actually not. I don't. I mean, because I can go. Well, I mean,
it's a fishing podcast, so technically you're staying on point.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's a good point. I mean, I'm kind of testing the waters. Is that also kind of sort of?
Oh my God! See, you're waking up now. Look at you.
Yeah, I'm on fire.
You got a twinkle in your eye that OJ finally made it to your liver up here.
Yes, thank you, OJ. Orange juice, not OJ Simpson.
What we're trying to say is love one another. It's not that hard. My God,
it's not that hard, and.
Look out for your neighbor. Yeah, maybe you don't agree with them, but look out for them. That goes worldwide. That's just not in this country, but apparently we have to start here first.
Well, I'll tell you. So, just say a few other things here, and then we'll move on. But I'm not a Trump.
You just came blazing out of the gates this morning. Just like
I gotta wake up, man. I gotta wake up. But so I'm not a Trump supporter, right? But I also don't believe he's the Antichrist like so many people do, and how his whole term, like, it's like impeach, and everybody, I'm personally of the opinion where I think there's been worse politicians, that we've had that have done worse with wars and whatnot, and I'm just. I'm not a fan of a lot of the power structure in D.C. To me, there's a lot of evil that's taken place there, and right. it didn't just happen when Trump came in office. I think if people think that, they're not looking into their history very, very well. And that's a really stupid way to say it, but they historically they're wrong. Okay. Historically speaking. So what is particularly concerning to me right now, and I'm on social media, I follow kind of like political stuff on Twitter more than anything. People that are guys like Glenn Greenwald that broke like the Edward Snowden story. I want to find people that are really questioning government, that are trustworthy, good reporters, good journalism. I'm not looking for like fringe stuff. I want people that are credible, right? But are kind of reporting in the more alternative genre of things, okay? And what's particularly concerning to me right now is that they're calling what happened on the Capitol a domestic terrorist incident, right? And let me tell you something. That's really chilling to me, because if we're going to call that a domestic terrorist event, first of all, the only person that was actually shot was a Trump supporter, okay? And with all of those people that made it into the building, all of them, okay? We're calling them domestic terrorists right now. All of those people that were in the building, they could have taken gas cans in there, doused the whole place, lit it on fire. There could have been someone with a bomb in there, blown the whole thing to hell, right? I mean, let's be honest here. And then all of a sudden, after that happens, now they're taking people off of social media that have dissenting voices, like just that question the official narrative. Dude, that is chilling to me. That's all I'm going to say about it.
All right, now on to fishing.
Lord.
Jeez.
Okay. Because here's the thing. Here's what I believe.
Oh, so you're not. That's not all you're going to say.
I guess this is it. This is it. Then this is my conclusionary. I don't know. My conclusive statement.
We can make up words. Yeah, just put it out there.
There are people that have in power, very powerful people, okay, that have an agenda. And again, I'm not going to go into it here. We're talking fishing. But what's going on is freaking me out, man. Thanks for tuning into the podcast. If you've enjoyed our content, please consider subscribing to Another Fishing Podcast on iTunes, which is available also on just about every major podcasting platform. We'd love for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Angling Uploaded. And for exclusive benefits, become a member on Patreon. So go to patreon.com and search Angling Uploaded, become a member. Oh God, we'd love you if you do that. Thanks, guys.